Assalamualaikum, we are from Group 1. We'll be presenting about the issues in combating corruption and cronyism. My name is FILDZA IWANI, metric number 291349. We will be presenting about the introduction of the topic. The rules and regulations are the backbone of any organized society, shaping behavior and fostering discipline. This writing explores the rules and regulations in Malaysia, emphasizing their role in maintaining conduct and discipline. Additionally, we delve into the significance of these regulations and address the pervasive issues of corruption and cronyism that challenge the nation. In Malaysia, a comprehensive legal framework governs various aspects of life, from individual conduct to business operations. Corruption is the misuse of public office for personal gain. It characterized by practices like bribery and abuse of power, erodes public trust and hinders economic development. On the other hand, cronyism is a favoritism toward friends or associates, which involves favoring close associates in business or politics, compromises decision-making and fairness. Corruption and cronyism both pose significant threats to Malaysia's progress. If we take a look at the statistics, according to Transparency International Malaysia's most recent data, the Corruption Perception Index (CPI) 2021 ranks Malaysia 62 out of 180 countries, with a score of 48 on a scale of 0, which indicate the highest level of corruption, to 100, which indicate the cleanest. A survey conducted by the Statista Research Department revealed that a cumulative sum of 909 public officials and civilians were detained in Malaysia on charges of corruption in 2022. These findings suggest that there has been a rise in corruption-related concern in a nation that obtained a marginally higher than average rating on the Corruption Perception Index. Corruption perception continues to be a significant issue in Malaysia, as it indicated by the Global Corruption Barometer, which surveyed the experience of ordinary citizens confronting corruption around the world and found that there are 71% of the population considers government corruption to be a major problem.
My name is ATEERAH binti ABDUL. My metric number is 295941. So I will present about background of the issue. Effectively combating corruptions and cronyism within the context of rules and regulations requires a comprehensive and robust legal framework. Along the stringent enforcement mechanisms, one critical challenge lies in the formulation and implementation of law that explicitly criminalize corrupt practices and undue favoritism. This law should be clear, unambiguous, and cover a broad spectrum of activities to leave no room for loopholes. The challenge, however, often lies in enforcement of this law. Weaknesses in law enforcement agencies, such as inadequate resources, lack of independence, and susceptibility to political influence can undermine the effectiveness of anti-corruption measures. So, in the context of cronyisms, rules and regulations should emphasize merit-based appointments and fair competition in government contracts. Legislation should prevent conflicts of interest, and disclosure requirements for officials should be stringent. Institutions' transparent process, promotion and awarding contracts, along with strict penalties for violations, and help curb the influence of the cronyisms. Number one issue, which is LCS, scandal indicative of a failed corporate governance. So LCS refers to literal combat ship. Scandal stands as a stark exemplification of a failed corporate governance within the Malaysian government. The revelation of this scandal underscores critical lapse in the oversight of a management and strategic initiative, and bringing to light a series of egregious government failures. The contract awarded to Boston Naval Shipyard Sdn Bhd, which is called as BNS, through direct negotiation, the subsequent payment of a 6 billion without any delivered ship, and these mismanagement of funds are symptomatic of a broader problem. So there are several unethical behavior that I can list down on these LCS scandals. The first one is unsatisfactory design and equipment acquisitions delays. The second one is quality of works not meeting the specifications. Number 3 is redundant work and delays. Number 4 is financial solvency issues. So the second issue is the most controversial issues in Malaysia, which is 1MDB scandal. The scandal surrounding One Malaysian Development's Berhad is indeed one of the notorious corruption cases in the recent history. The involvement of top government officials, including the Prime Minister, Sri Najib Razak, has led the widespread investigations and legal actions. Established in 2009 as a catalyst for Malaysian long-term economic development, 1MDB initially aimed to especially foster international alliance and attract foreign direct investment in industry such as agribusiness, real estate, tourism, and energy. However, the organization's activities took a dark turn, drawing attentions to questionable financial dealings and allegations of fraud, theft, and money laundering.
So now I'm going to explain to you about the impact of corruption and cronyism to the society and also to the country. My first point is about the impact of corruption and cronyism to the society. As we can see, corruption and cronyism will make the society annoyed and pessimistic. When they are implementing corruption and cronyism in the public sector or any Malaysian governing administration, it has a wide range of detrimental consequences for the society. One of them is that it will irritate and depress the society. This is because corruption will cause society to lose trust in some of the country's leaders. Furthermore, within the sphere of ethics, society is frustrated because leaders are not held accountable for the duties they bear. For example, we could see when the Malaysian culture across ethnic line reached an unusual agreement on corruption after the 1MDB affair. In research, that we are examined. However, observers suggest that the current resurgence of the identity politics voters refer that growing pessimism about the government ability appropriately manage Malaysian corruption problems. As a result, it demonstrates how society will have a lack of participation in politics owing to the lack of faith in the leaders who are involved in the corruption scandals. Next, corruption and cronyism cause moral deterioration in societies because corruption and cronyism teach people to corrupt for personal and private gain at the expense of the public. Thus, it will worsen our health crisis. Consider the LCS scandals. When the government bought the Boss State Naval Shipyard Sdn Bhd (BNS) without the parliamentary or public approval, it proved that the leader was corrupt and ready to do it openly. Datuk Sri Najib Razak, the former Malaysian Prime Minister, was also blamed for failing to buy the 6 LCS boats and misappropriating the cash. The leader's unethical behaviour sets a bad example for the public. So, dishonest practices like giving gifts and thanks for services performed make the community immoral. This form of behaviour involves using authority to participate in the immoral networking for personal gain. Lastly, corruption and cronyism in Malaysia has increased population poverty. 97 developing nations show a strong causal correlation between corruptions and poverty, suggesting a mutually reinforcing relationship. Corruption also lowers a family quality of life, worsening their situations. Due to rising living costs, some people, especially the poor, may struggle to buy their basic needs. Corruption and cronyism also erodate regulatory and ethical transparency, allowing unscrupulous actors to gain wealth without considering society's impacts. The section for corrupt for unethical networking in their sectors could lead to unemployment. Thus, rising unemployment increases poverty in the society. Now, I will proceed my explanation to talk about the impact of corruption and cronyism to the country. So, corruption and cronyism will hurt Malaysia. First, it will cause the economic loss and undevelopment because most investors want a clean, corruption-free country to invest or trade. Owing to the 1MDB scandals, most international investors sold their stock and investment in Malaysia to the Asian economy rapidly owing to uncertainties and weaker currencies. Corrupt economies have a limited middle class and large income gaps between the rich and the poor. The privileged upper class who own wealth and influence maintain their wealth, while the second and the third social groups struggle due to the rising cost of living. Thus, when the government misuses public power for personal benefit, it worsens economic disparity and depletes resources. Secondly, corruption and cronyism destabilize politics. The strong relationship between Barisan Nasional leaders, particularly UMNO, and the former members of the parliament like Datuk Sri Najib Abdul Razak and Datuk Sri Zahid Hamidi and big businesses has contributed to Malaysia's ongoing corruption and ineffective anti-corruption measures. This is called the politic-business nexus or money politics. This issue permeates Malaysia's governmental and corporate culture and contributes to the pervasive corruptions. It also reveals leaders' lack of ethical transparency and responsibility. Plus, it will affect Malaysia's democracy system as the government foreign image is poor, resulting in the other countries avoiding democratic relations or investing in Malaysia. In the 1MDB corruption case, former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak and his business associates embezzled, laundered and stole around 40 billion ringgit Malaysia. In summary, it will weaken our political system, affecting our financial administration, national security and also trade. And lastly, corruption and cronyism will lower the worker quality. Corruption and cronyism will make the workers to perform unethical tasks including taking longer, providing lower quality services and falsely appointing employees owing to the poor networking. Prices for police, physician and civil personnel could be allocated efficiently. Those who get this fund will have an advantage over their more ethical competitors. In LCS, the government bought boat falsely due to personal interest and power, which took years to renovate and set up the boat for security use and cost a lot. To conclude, this can damage government confidence and form regulation that citizens and corporations must follow.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is KHAIRUL, number matric 2912886. Today I want to talk about solution to improve conduct and discipline. In order to create a positive and healthy work environment, corruption and cronyism prevention must be done. The prevention is need to ensure cleanliness of the organisation image to make employee happy while working there. There are many ways to prevent corruption and cronyism in the organisation. First, efficient enforcement. Efficient and fair enforcement in organisation can help reduce unethical among employees, especially if it involves corruption and cronyism. In addition, efficient enforcement help ensure compliance with established policy and procedure to prevent corrupt practice from occurring, such as reporting procedure and inspection mechanism that ensure ethical violation are dealt with appropriately. Next, organisation leader who show commitment to ethics and integrity need to take firm corruption against those who take corruption. This attitude will set a good example, but will also reinforce the standard of behaviour expected of all employees. Therefore, the implementation of ethics such as periodic inspection and monitoring will make it easier for superior to detect their action that occur in the organisation. This can help organisation identify problems before they become more serious, such as compliance audit, risk assessment and ethical assessment. Now second about self-reporting channel. Effective reporting channel help create an environment where employees feel comfortable reporting ethical violation without fear or threat. Therefore, employees need to be confident that their identity will be protected and will not be disclosed without their permission. The party that control this channel should ensure that their identity is not exposed to outsiders and ensure that employees are confident that any report provided by employees will not lead to adverse consequences for them. So this will encourage a culture of reporting in helping to identify problems at early stage before they become more serious. If act of corruption and cronyism occur involving high-ranking parties in the organization, the involvement of external party is strongly encouraged, such as law firm or high authority to investigate more complex reports. So periodic monitoring and evaluation of the effectiveness of reporting channel can help identify opportunity for improvement. This provides a means to detect, address, and prevent unethical action in the organization and create a good work environment where every employee feel responsible for reporting unethical action. So that's all.
Next, the third solution is ethics determination. The organizational ethics are crucial in combating corruption and cronyism. They establish clear guidelines of behavior, guiding the employees to act according to the organization's value. The compliance with these ethics prevents unethical actions such as corruption, especially involving the superiors. Clear ethical stipulation and safe reporting channels encourage employees to report corrupt practices, increasing the confidence in reporting channels. The leaders who exhibit the ethical attitude and behaviors without bribes serve as an example to other employees. This gives employees a sense of responsibility for their actions and the impact on the organization's reputation and future. The establishing ethics not only reduces unethical problems but also prevents individuals from engaging in corruption and cronyism. Last but not least, the last suggestion is developing an anti-cronyism policy. The anti-cronyism policy is essential to prevent corruption and cronyism within an organization. This policy should prohibit hiring employees from among cronies and should be included in employment agreements and leadership programs. Strong anti-cronyism laws can prevent related people from holding jobs in the same department or from a colleague reporting to another department. The background profile checks can help identify employees' backgrounds and prevent the cronyism in hiring new employees. And the cronyism can cause dissatisfaction among employees and affect the organization's image and make it difficult to attract the new employees. If an employee is found to be involved in cronyism, they may be punished or fired to protect the employment inequality. And implementing the anti-cronyism policy can improve hiring opportunities and combat corruption globally. However, addressing the corruption within country is not enough, and reaching an agreement on stringent international regulation is a good starting point. As a conclusion, corruption and cronyism in Malaysia are the subject of this assignment, which aims to examine both and show how they have affected the country and its people. Economic growth and political stability are impeded by this unethical action, which also damage public trust and ethical standards. They cause people to be unhappy, poor, and see a decline in the job market. Strict actions are required to enhance society and guarantee future success, including the creation of clear ethical norms, the implementation of anti-cronyism rules, the assurance of efficient enforcement, and the establishment of secure reporting channels. Both the law and morality require us to combat cronyism and corruption. Restoring public faith and establishing itself as a nation committed to fairness, justice, and equal opportunity can be achieved by Malaysia through the defense of ethical principles and the promotion of transparency of governance. Then, that's all from us. Thank you.